I bow down to the Holy Trio, who are ever graceful to their devotees and who find great joy even in laying down in doing goods to others. My respectful pranam to Swami Gautamananda Ji Maharaj and all monks sitting in front of me, revered nuns, and love and respect to all delegates coming here from different parts of the country. As a rapporteur in Bengali panel discussion, let me try to give you a very brief idea of speeches delivered by 8 conveners and joint conveners of the in this holy assembly. Speaker Rahul Ghosh, convener, Bardwan Bankura Purulia. His subject, development in organization in the light of 150th birth anniversary of Swami Vivekananda. The Ramakrishna Bhava, the divinity of human beings, is wonderfully reproduced by Swami Vivekananda. Generally, all service activities look alike. The differences only in the attitude with which the service is rendered. Swamiji gave much emphasis on the power of organization. Organized functioning is absolutely necessary to carry on the work effectively with loyalty to the ideals of Sri Ramakrishna. A good organization should have division of labor, obedience, having courage to do good work, to take spiritual and secular knowledge to the poor, the illiterate. The real education is that which enables one to stand on one's own legs. Members of an organization should always avoid impatience, jealousy, egoism. Members should promote Vivekananda philosophy of education and to strictly follow 10 points guidelines prepared by Belur Mott. Other speaker, Sri Supratik Chakraborty, Joint Convener, Kolkata Parishads, subject, present child education in the light of Swamiji's thought. Knowledge is inherent within the individual himself. It is the function of education to lead one to perfection. Therefore, education should be available to all. Swamiji said, do you think you can educate a child? The child will educate himself. Your job is to provide the necessary opportunity to him and to remove the obstacles in his path. Swamiji further stressed that to make education useful, it must be according to the nature and need of the child. The teacher has to visualize God in the soul of each child. Man-making education, character-building education, girl-child education, meditation, and exercises should be the prime responsibility of teachers and parents. Education should be the preparation for life. Today, there is a deterioration of cultural ethics and standards. The supreme need of the hour to counteract this emotional, moral, and cultural collapse. Only a process of good system of education can bring about a healthy political and social life. The other speaker, Shailendranath Mondal, convener, Sundarban Parishad. His subject was renunciation and service, national ideal of India. Swamiji's most unique contribution to the creation of New India was to open the minds of Indians to their duty to the downtrodden masses. Swamiji was the first religious leader in India to speak for the masses, formulate a definite philosophy of service, and organize large-scale social service. All efforts in religious path are in vain if these do not help to grow oneself the love for God. Similarly, service activities are in vain if our hearts do not expand and we feel the presence of God in man. Swamiji founded Ramakrishna Mission, in which monks and lay people would jointly undertake propagation of practical Vedanta and various forms of social service and relief work. In the new monastic ideal followed by the Ramakrishna order, the ancient principles of renunciation and God realization are combined with the service to God in man. Sivo Gene Jivo Shiva. Vivekananda elevated social service to the status of divine service. Next, the Sri Satyabrata Das Sharma, convener Uttar Purvanchal Parishad, subject, our role as a devotee of Swamiji. Swami Vivekananda has given us a 4-point program for national reconstruction. 1. Revitalization of spiritual culture of the nation, uplift of the poor masses by infusing confidence and strength to them, secular education, and setting in motion machinery for the dissemination of noble ideas. As a successor of Swamiji, member Ashrama Parishad should give utmost importance for providing welfare service to the downtrodden and economically and culturally backward people, especially to scheduled tribes and in rural hilly areas in Northeast. As an educationalist, Swamiji believes that education should be the preparation for life. It should develop a feeling of nationalism, development of character, and make individuals self-dependent. Sri Dhrubodhar Rai, convener, Tripura Parishad, his subject was Swami's thought towards development of downtrodden masses in India. Swamiji was the first religious leader in India who pointed out that the chief cause of India's downfall was the neglect of the masses. He stressed uplift of the downtrodden people. He wanted that the life-giving principles of Vedanta should reach even the cottages of peasants, the huts of fishermen, the hovels of sweepers and cobblers. Sri Gaurajra, next joint convener, South 24 Parganas, Parishad. His subject was implementation of Swamiji's ideals in development of India. In several ways, the ideals of Swami Vivekananda mark the historical process of India rediscovering herself in modern times. His contribution to India may be summed in 4 ways. First, it was Vivekananda who first emphasized that our everyday lives would become more meaningful only when spiritualized. Second, Swamiji's essential message was the empowerment of people through education, collective thought and action, individual renunciation to committed social service. The Ramakrishna Modern Mission is today an active embodiment of this legacy. Third, there is the love that Vivekananda consistently exhibited for socially marginalized and oppressed. Vivekananda always insisted on grassroots reforms, not agendas imposed from above, of which the common man had little or no understanding. Fourth, it was the Swamiji's consistent desire to bring back India's pride of place in the Assembly of Nations. Sri Sukumar Goswami, convener, Midnapur Parishad, his subject was patriotism and Swamiji. Swamiji gave Indians proper understanding of their country's great spiritual heritage and thus gave them pride in their past. Sense of unity, sense of mission, man-making, these are the factors which gave real strength and purpose to India's nationalist movement. Several eminent leaders of India's freedom movement have acknowledged their deep indebtedness to Swamiji. He was first religious leader in India to speak for the masses, formulate a definite philosophy of service, and organize large-scale social service, raising the status of women along with that of men. When Swami Vivekananda was asked what service he liked most, he had said, "Love India, that is the lesson for all of us." His lecturing and teaching work for 4.5 years in US and England, he succeeded to a great extent in changing the opinion of Western people about India and raised the image of India to the high pedestal at the land of spirituality, harmony, and rich cultural heritage. Last speaker, Sri Biplab Bose, convener, Uttaranchal Parishad. Storytelling to children about the life and teaching of Swami Vivekananda. At present, spiritual values are not taught in schools and colleges. The external world, with its pomp and show, very easily attracts young minds. Some mechanism must be evolved so that so they can withstand this temptation, and develop a taste for these would be to create interest in them for reaching Ramakrishna-Vivekananda literature. Children are our future hope, and so we should take utmost care to help them grow into worthy men and women. Parishads Ashram must take this challenge so that youngsters can become worthy citizens and bring about better future. Due to time constraint, I am to stop here. Thank you.